It was an early Saturday morning. My brother and I were getting ready to go to our tree stand around 6 to 7 a.m. Since our local forest hosts a variety of animals which would be out in the early morning hours, we decided to bring our binoculars to scout the area around on our way to the tree stand. That's when, up ahead on the road, we saw this coyote crossing, of probably adult size, and ahead of him a few more. Our tree stand was tucked a good ways into the woods, which is why we were on watch out for a pack of coyotes so that they wouldn't catch us off guard on our long hike. In the middle of the wooded area was a little slough or creek, as one might call it. Once we had made it into the tree stand, we could overlook a large area from a safe vantage point, and we began seeing some of the ordinary critters that one might expect to see in the woods, including this squirrel jumping from one tree to the other. And we spotted these two raccoons sniffing out a tree stump. But then things began to get weird when both my brother and myself began to hear these noises. Listen very closely to the video clips. At first, I just thought it was merely a vehicle.
Was that a vehicle? I don't know. I have no idea. It sounds like screaming
Were these noises perhaps the low-pitched sounds of a mountain lion or perhaps a puma even in the area? Or perhaps they were the grunts and growls of a wild hog off in the distance. Either way, they're extraordinary vocalizations. So let me know how you explain them down in the comments section below. And now we move on to trail cam captures for the latter half of this video. Starting with this picture, captured on one of our trail cams of a bobcat. You can tell it's a bobcat because of the leopard print on its back. And in a nearby dried up area, we found this canine or perhaps even feline track, which could be connected to the bobcat. During bow hunting season, the average bow hunter might expect to shoot a deer, but they will not expect to shoot a deer and capture it on one of their trail cameras at the exact same time, which is what happened in this particular instance. And even though some of it is blurred out, you can tell that the arrow has penetrated through the deer's skin. And what makes the capture even more unique is the fact that the deer is in mid-jump, as if it has just been shot and has been spooked. Next up is this trail cam capture of a grizzly bear chasing a moose. A moose does not always lose the fight against a grizzly bear and actually contributes to more violent attacks on humans than any other predator. But for the most part, grizzly bears do come out victorious in the battle against a moose. The size of each animal is an important factor as to who wins at the end of the day. If it's a small grizzly bear, the moose stands a chance. Accordingly to the original poster, after heavy rainfall continuous over a long period of time, water began to accumulate at the edge of a bean field where a trail cam was conveniently positioned, and the image that it took was of a deer crossing the water. In this case, it appears as though the water is about neck deep on the deer. But this isn't particularly shocking, considering deer are well known for crossing large bodies of water, including rivers, lakes, and streams. No matter what, it's not common to see a deer in neck-deep water. Have you ever been driving down the back roads at night and wondered what was lurking around in the woods adjacent to your car? Well, this next trail cam capture comes from Central Kentucky and reveals what there might be out there. The image is of an unknown figure which does not immediately resemble a black bear. The image is blurry and hard to make out, but we can at least see that there is something there that does not resemble the regular fauna. And if you look closely, you may be able to notice three characteristics: its back hunched over, its head leaned down as if it's looking at the ground, and a foot with potentially well-defined toes. Is this just a Kentucky native wild black bear, or is it something far different? In this trail cam capture, posted by Kathy Ullman to Facebook, we see a deer which is looking strangely up at the sky. Or it's standing in a position that would insinuate that it's sniffing the air to identify the safety of its surroundings. And now for the trail cam captures you've all been waiting for, coming from an area known as the Northampton Campground in the Adirondacks. In what is a presumably rural area, the trail cam records an incredible image of a bipedal figure standing in the distance. It has long, skinny arms and some broad shoulders and appears to be standing on 2 feet instead of 2 hind paws like a bear would. Some blurry facial features can possibly be made out. But is this just a well-made costume, or is it something very authentic? And here is a trail cam capture from a high-definition camera revealing a very similar-looking creature from a far closer range. In this image, the creature seems to have a rock in its hand and is doing something in the creek water. But perhaps both images are hoaxes and were made with well-developed costumes. At the end of the day, hoax or not, they're still very interesting images. And with that being said, thank you all for watching the video, and I hope you enjoyed.